ability to have the freedom to roam around the neck in any given key is actually very easy. I'm going to unlock a new, deeper understanding of the fretboard for you. So if you were asked to play an A minor, and you think, well, I know my 2-octave pattern in 5th position, I know it in 12th position, maybe you know open position a bit and one or two other little things along the way. But you basically feel locked into one or two certain positions, and you want to be free to wander all over the neck and know exactly where you are in the scale at any given moment. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this without years and years of practice and experience, without having to learn every position on the fretboard with a different pattern in each one, but with just one small shape that you can learn in a minute. I'm going to unlock a new, deeper understanding of the fretboard for you, which will blow you away and give you a solid, unshakable confidence when playing in any key, changing the way you play forever. Too much? Too much? A short while ago, I noticed a lot of YouTube videos claiming to be able to enable you to unlock the fretboard, to master the fretboard. All of them fell short of these claims. The first thing that crossed my mind when I saw some of these was I'd forgotten about that. Then I remembered years ago having the desire to sort of feel free to play all over the neck. Later on, I actually became more interested in not having to move out of one position. Joe Pass, the great jazz guitarist, once said, all the notes you want are there under your fingers, wherever you are on the neck. The idea of being able to play any chord, arpeggio, scale, mode in any one position without having to move, rather than having to jump about to find the next thing you need, seemed to me to actually be complete mastery of the fretboard. However, that is a discussion for another video, and indeed does take years of practice and experience. But I digress. The ability to have the freedom to roam around the neck in any given key is actually very easy, but nobody teaches it. I've been playing a long time, too long, and I've seen many different books, syllabuses, methods of learning. Myself, I've studied electric guitar, classical guitar, jazz guitar, but nowhere have I come across something that I worked out for myself a few years ago. You see, the thing is, when learning scales on the guitar, you seem to be given a never-ending amount of different patterns to learn with every different scale, and then you have different patterns to learn for the same scale when played in different positions and different octaves. A 1-octave scale has one shape, a 2-octave scale has a bigger, different shape, a 3-octave scale has an even bigger, well, it just seems like a giant pattern with no logic at all. Wouldn't it be good if the guitar was like the piano, where you learn your scale in 1 octave and then you just repeat the pattern over and over again in each octave? Well, it is. So let's get into it. What are we really talking about here? We're talking about a 1-octave scale. Guitarists seem to jump into 2-octave scales very early on because they fit nicely into a complete position. They do this without ever realizing that the 1-octave scale is the most powerful tool you have to mastering the fretboard, and indeed music itself. It is this knowledge and mastery of the 1-octave scale that relates to what I've spoken about in previous videos about guitarists not being as good a musician as a pianist. They don't do nearly as much work with just learning a 1-octave C major scale to begin with, and that's the root of it all. So here is the 1-octave scale pattern for the scale of A natural minor. We're doing this in A natural minor. So it's 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3. you may be familiar with this. It's the start of the 2-octave natural minor shape, which you very well may know. By the way, I was going to make this video using the scale of C major, but I thought A minor was a better place to start, as it's probably more commonly used by guitarists. And it's, well, they're all easy shapes to learn, these little 1-octave 3-string patterns, but this is kind of like the easiest of the easy. So we've learnt the scale pattern. Before we look at moving it around the neck, we need to learn 2 ways to manipulate this shape. First, we need to understand how everything moves up 1 fret on the B string. So if we started our scale on the D string, and we played 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 again, but then we've reached the B string, so we play our final 1, 3, up 1 fret. If we started to play our scale on the G string, what are we doing? A minor. We'd start, there's our first 1, 3, 4, but then immediately we're onto the B string, so we'd move up a fret to play the next 1, 3, 4, and stay in that position for the final 1, 3. Not going back to the original position on the E string, as some people get a bit confused slightly. Once you've gone up on the B string, you stay up and carry on the pattern from there. Secondly, we need to know how to play this pattern on 1 string. We play the first 1, 3, 4, and then we move up a fret from where your 4th finger is. So you miss a fret and then go the next 1, 3, 4, then miss a fret where your 4th finger is to do the final 1, 3. So there's 1 fret between each set. Now we are ready to start finding our way around. So with all that in mind, we can now look at many different ways we can now play the A minor scale. So we can start here, 5th position. There we go, we've reached another A. We could carry on and play from that octave. There's the B string shift, by the way. We could then carry on here, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. We know how to do it on 1 string, so we can do that there. Now let's go backwards. We could, well, we don't have to go back the way we came. Let's do stay in position. 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. Going from there, what could we do? We could go 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. Let's do it all on 1 string. 4, 3, 1. Now we're down here. We could then do it in open position. You adjust the fingering, of course, slightly for open position, you understand, I'm sure. That would be 2 open, 3, 2 open, 3, 2 open. But it's the same pattern. What else can we do? We're on the G string. 1, 3, 4. Let's go up for the 1, 3. 1, 3, 4, all on the B string. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. I think I've made the point, yeah? So there's so many different ways you can go taking this now. Now, lastly, one final little trick to help you fluently move around. The final 1, 3, we play it. If we play it with 1, 1, if we slide 1 to 1, then we're ready for the next octave without having to make a jump. You see, we play the first octave, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, slide, and then we're on our first finger. So we're just good to go. We don't have to do what I was demonstrating just now, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, and then make the jump. No. Then we're into the next octave without having to do anything. All 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Now, because you've learnt all the notes within a very easy logical structure, it doesn't take long to memorise where all the notes are over the neck, because you've got a simple framework to see it all in. And you'll soon be able to easily jump to different places within the scale and not even stick to the pattern anymore if you don't wish to, or if the music just takes you somewhere else. Finally, the added bonus of learning your scales this way, and yes, you can do this with any scale, major, minor, modal, pentatonic, even arpeggios, you just need to learn the simple 1-octave shape and do as I've set out in this video. Make sure you're comfortable with the B string and the single string manipulation. And finally, make sure you're happy with sliding between the octaves, and you're away. But the added bonus, it's actually more than a bonus, it's perhaps the most important result of learning your scales this way. I'm just going to play with myself a second, hang on. Ah, that's better. The most important thing of doing it in this manner is the fact that your fingers are on the same interval. They're always on the same interval. You always know where you are in the pattern. Therefore, you always know what interval you're playing. This is massive. One reason guitarists generally have very poor oral skills is down to the fact that we're so often taught these scales with different patterns rather than keeping it simple and learning the intervals. The basic 2-octave scale shape that I referred to earlier are what we're all predominantly taught. And as a result of learning the scales as one big 2-octave shape, students often have no idea what interval they're on, what interval they're playing. Even in this, they don't even know when they've gone into the 2nd octave sometimes, or where that middle root note is. They're not really focusing on the intervals. Keeping to the 1-octave pattern not only makes it easy to move around the fretboard, but you also know if you're on the 3 of the second 1, 3, 4, you're on the perfect 5th. Obviously, you learn your intervals to begin with. If you're on the 1 of the final 1, 3, you're on the minor 7th. And because it's there the whole time, this accelerates your melodic development, oral abilities and improvisational abilities really quickly, and your understanding of music. Most importantly, it puts you in control. Rather than being a stranger wandering around this mysterious land of lines and squares, you know what you're doing at all times. I'm going to play phrases ending on the perfect 5th. I know where that perfect 5th is. There's the perfect 5th. On the perfect 5th. Up to the perfect 5th. There's the perfect 5th. Easy, easy. Right, thank you for watching. Please like me and subscribe. It makes me feel all warm and loved.